Hello, everybody. Welcome. Today, I'm gonna talk about an important issue among IELTS test takers, which is ambiguity in their IELTS writing task 2. But if you want to actually have this guide as a downloadable PDF, drop a comment below and type PDF or send a colorful heart so that you can have it. Well, as you know, many IELTS candidates, are you can see that they're leaving the exam feeling happy and thinking that they have written a solid and well-written essay, and they will score 7 or higher. But actually, many don't realize that their essay is kind of actually ambiguous and unclear, leading to much lower score than expected. So this is really important. So let's start with this in a short paragraph and talk about flexibility of words. Take a look at it. Social media usage is increasing. While it connects people and spreads information quickly, it also leads to negative consequences like addiction and misinformation. We must establish stronger regulations on social media. If we continue letting these platforms operate unchecked, society may face serious repercussions. When you first look at this paragraph, you can see that in and of itself, there's nothing wrong with it, but of course there is. If you take a closer look at this part, for example, stronger regulations, what does the writer mean by this? I mean, kind of actually a complete ban on certain content, or it is about a restriction on the time people can spend on social media, or what is that? As you know, our language is highly complex, and if each word had one potential meaning about which we'll agree, effective communication would be more likely, but it's not. So you need actually you need to explain it more. What does that mean? So we cannot evaluate this paragraph until we know more about the kinds of regulations here. Or even this part, society may face serious repercussions. What do you mean by this word? You mean you're talking about, addiction, misinformation, false information? What is that? Now let's check this one. We absolutely must put limits on tanning. Tanning is a substantial health risk with severe consequences. Studies have shown that those who tan are at a higher risk of skin diseases as a result of tanning. Again, here we cannot figure out what the writer meant by tanning outdoors or artificial ones. Does it mean to prevent people from using artificial tanning devices, or might it mean putting a limit on the amount of time spent tanning? Or even this part, severe consequences. What does that mean? It is referring to getting a heat rash, or the situation is severe as skin cancer. But the question is, what is ambiguity? It's better to say basically it refers to the existence of multiple possible meanings for a word or phrase. How to avoid them? There are, two solutions here. Number one, state the obvious. Guys, you must, overcome the temptation to believe that a word is self-evident. So as a result, you have to get into picking the habit of constantly asking yourself whether this is enough or not. What do I mean by this? Is it enough? Is this enough? Does it require further explanation? And you have to see your essay through the eyes of your reader. In other words, you have to put yourself in your reader's shoes, so that you can figure out this word or this phrase, whether it is ambiguous or not. And number two is creating a mental picture. One way to discover whether a word is ambiguous or not is this. And when you cannot do this, you probably have identified an important ambiguity, and you must address it. When it comes to possible meanings of words, meanings usually come in one of three forms: synonyms, examples, definition by specific criteria. Okay, what do they mean? Take anxiety as an example. Number one, anxiety is feeling nervous. So as you can see, nervous is a synonym here. Number two, anxiety is what the candidate experienced when he turned on the television to watch the election returns. So here we just actually provide an example to explain what anxiety is. And number three, anxiety is a subjective feeling of discomfort accompanied by increased sensitivity of the autonomic nervous system. So, as you know, with number two and three, you can create a mental picture. It means that they are obvious, but number one, it is not, that obvious. So it's better to use the second and the third way when you want to refer to a word. So it would be better to give an example or explain what you mean. Let's check this paragraph. School dress codes are limits put on inappropriate clothing to help keep the learning environment focused. It can be quite distracting for students if a classmate wears inappropriate clothing. The use of a dress code during school is not preventing freedom of expression. Unlike required uniform dress codes, the dress code still allows students to choose what they wear as long as it's not deemed inappropriate. What is obvious here is that inappropriate clothing is not obvious, so it may need explaining. To address that, check this revised paragraph. It is not perfect, but it's much better. School dress codes set boundaries on certain types of clothing to maintain a focused learning environment. For instance, clothing that is overly revealing or displays offensive messages can be distracting for students. Implementing a dress code is not meant to stifle freedom of expression, but to ensure respectful and productive atmosphere. Unlike uniform policies that require specific outfits, a dress code still allows students to express their individuality through their clothing, as long as it adheres to the guidelines of appropriateness. Well, here we avoid ambiguity with providing an example here to say, what we mean by inappropriate clothing. So we are more likely to get our message across. Thank you very much, everybody. Do not forget to like and share.